business plan that they've prepared. What they need is capital to get started. And we had discussions with the Bank of Industry. They actually came to us and said, we're interested in working with your youth. And they came to us with a I would say, an encouraging list of things that the youth need to do to qualify for the loan. And they actually waived the need to have, what do you call that, collateral, so they don't have to own a house. They don't have to have a bank account with, 20 billion naira or something in it. They can, they have other ways to guarantee their loan. One of them is that, yes, they've gone through the system with Iita, they have the skills, they have the knowledge. They will have the backstopping from Iita and other partners when they establish their business. And there were some other conditions that they had to meet. But the banks are really starting to move in that direction. But you were referring to the comments from the Honorable Minister yesterday. I know the government is putting this on a top priority to really look for ways to get the capital flowing in the system, to make it available to youth. And one of the comments that was made by the Honorable Minister, I think yesterday, is that it's farmers, small farmers can get loans, but they need to form into groups. They need to form a society and come together to get those loans. So I agree with the questioner. This is extremely important. I see the government and the banks working together to try to move forward with that.
Land, we need to find the most appropriate machinery that is needed. It is actually very unacceptable that at this phase in our lives, it looks like the cutlass and the hoe are the dominant forms of agriculture, especially for our smallholders. And we know our women are the ones who carry the bulk of the load of all these areas. So within IITA, one of the areas that we are also going to put a lot of emphasis on moving forward is the area of mechanization as part of our partnerships for delivery mandate. We are really looking at various levels of mechanization. Sometimes when people hear mechanization, they immediately start thinking of tractors. But sometimes, equipment to help you do your digging, some equipment to help you do your, with the maize, threshing, all kinds of little things, weeding, and there are different levels of mechanization that we are working in and partnering with private sector, because when it comes to making all this equipment, it has to be private sector. So this is definitely a very important domain moving forward, and it's one in which we are expecting to expand our own work in the next phase of our operations.
So people go to their website and they request, 2 kilos of tomatoes, 3 kilos of okra, etc. And the next day it's delivered to their home. So this type of marketing is really moving forward very well. But in Nigeria, I'm really pleased that the government and Cellulant have partnered to establish e-wallet. And this is part of the growth enhancement scheme, part of the the green alternative of the present government to make funding available to small-scale farmers. There are about 15 million Nigerian small-scale farmers registered in this system. When the program starts, farmers register for specific crops, and in that crop there's a package that the farmers can buy with a subsidy from the government. So when they buy the seed and the fertilizer and other inputs, they pay part and government pays part. So that's working very well. Technology, of course, are also the varieties that farmers use, the fertilizers that they use, etc. And those, as Dr. Iita was saying earlier, those actually have really reached the end user. Millions and millions of Nigerian farmers are using the improved varieties of maize, cassava, soybean, yam, etc. And with the e-wallet system, it makes those inputs available more efficiently to the farmers.
There is a lot more that we can do through the mobile phone. Sending out market information, distribution of fertilizer. I mean, this, of course, the agricultural transformation agenda of the previous government was really based on, using mobile phone and things like that. And I think, and even the issue of drones. These days with a drone setting a particular place, you can forecast and you can really make assessments which normally would have taken a lot of people going all around. So those are all elements. Within IITA, we have bits of projects here and there handling these things, but that's clearly an area where we need to expand. So actually, in moving forward, I mean, the points that I raised earlier, this ICT domain is one area that we really need to make maximum effort at putting more energy into it. Thank you for raising it. Federal Minister of Agriculture in Nigeria, Dr. Akin Adesina, who just 3 days ago, was also awarded the World Food Prize. In October, he will be going to Des Moines in the United States to be given this singular honor. Now that shows that Nigeria is going places, because we have a son of Nigeria who is influencing agriculture, not only in Nigeria, but with the mindset of Africa. Transformation is his key word. How do we transform African countries so that they can put in place mechanisms to get out of the situation where 35 billion of our money goes into bringing food that we can produce? So he, in partnership with us and a number of other organizations, has established a program called Technologies for African Agricultural Transformation, TAAT, Technologies for African Agricultural Transformation. And this program has two elements to it. First of all, the bank, in partnership with the World Bank, USAID, Rockefeller, and a couple of others, have put a grant amount of $850 million as grant which goes to countries that are participating in this. And a key part of that is that the banks will also make available particular loans to countries that they can use to expand over the work that will be done through the grant mechanism. And a number of research institutions that have proven technologies, but which have not been able to penetrate into the development sphere, are part of this partnership. It includes institutions from the CGIAR, national programs, etc. And that program is actually set to begin in the next few months. It's a program that the Board of African Development Bank has already endorsed, and the mechanisms are being worked. So that's one of the examples that is being set. And let me say that we have never, in the agriculture research domain, had that kind of opportunity, where there is an investment made, not just to support research, but to take the outputs of research and make it out so that we can increase production, increase productivity, and ensure that we can cut down on the importation of food that we can grow within our continent. So I'd like to assure you that there is a lot going on at this point in time to support that, thanks to the partnership between the Africa Development Bank, IITA, and the other partners.